Hello everyone, this is Reza Vaezi and you are going to learn about data visualization and chart capabilities of RapidMiner through this tutorial. For this tutorial, I'm going to use two files that I have already imported into the RapidMiner to show you some charting capabilities of RapidMiner. RapidMiner, as you know, is for predictive analytics. It's not for exploration or descriptive analytics. Thus, the charting functions of RapidMiner are not comparable with other visualization software such as Tableau or Microsoft BI. I strongly recommend you to use those software that are designed, that are developed specifically for visualization to generate your charts in your reports. Okay, let's start with a dataset called sales data small. I have already imported it, so I'll go drag and drop it to the process window and connect it to the results and form my very basic model. I'll go run this data to get its summary and its metadata. So the first tab is data. The first view is data view, that you will get a view of your data. We have year, equipment, footwear, apparel, and total. Basically, it's telling you about the sales of different product categories in different years and the total sales for that year. Once we switch to statistics or metadata, you can see that year is of type polynomial and zero missing value. The least is 2007, the most is 2000, and the thing is that they're both one, so we have one instance of each year. And then we have equipment, footwear, apparel, and total. They're all as integer. The charts in RapidMiner are presented in this reading or retrieval of the data. You can go to the charts or the visualization tools view. You click on it and it'll give you different charts. You can go ahead and change the chart type here. You'll go click on top on the chart type and you'll have variety of chart types. Some of these chart types you're familiar with and some you aren't. You can always look up the definition of any of these chart types of RapidMiner on the internet. They have a good documentation of what these charts are and what they do for you. As I said, RapidMiner is not for visualization and charting, so it provides a limited functionality in charting, some basic charting functionalities and not very much flexibility. Even if you go to advanced charts, it does not provide that much flexibility for you. But let's see, what do we have. It still provides some good charts that help you understand your data better. Starting with the scatter charts, which is the most prevalent and most important charts in understanding your data. So you can define x-axis and y-axis, and remember, on x-axis we usually want to have our independent variable, and we assume the variables on x-axis are independent from each other as well. We have x-axis, y-axis is equipment, so it's basically a scatter plot of how things are changing over the years. And then you have a color column. Again, if the color does not add any information, you don't need to have it. Here, having different colors for different years, we already representing year in our x-axis, so we don't really need to have different colors for the year. We can just go ahead and click it to none, because when we have the color, it may imply to your readers that these colors do really have a specific meaning. While they don't really convey any meaning, this chart, this scatter plot, is about year and equipment, the sales of equipment on different years. One of the really good tools in making sense of your data and understanding your data, exploring it, it's a scattered matrix. You go to a scattered matrix, it'll give you a matrix of scattered plots, and you can tell them how you want to plot it. Here we plot it by year, and we have footwear, equipment, and you can see that we have apparel, footwear. So here you can see if there is any apparent relationship between any pair of your variables. You can just use the scattered matrix to quickly eyeball any sort of relationship that may exist in your data. You can also go with series, The series tell you the trend over time. Now you can see that we have from year 2000 to 2007. You can see how the sales for equipment, footwear, and apparel has changed. Here the color is telling us it's a part of the legend that you see on the top. You can see the pie charts, the bars, histogram, and the rest of them. The radar chart here is called the web chart. It's basically a 3D radar chart, the web chart. And the pie chart will not give you the same functionalities as you will find in Tableau, in Excel, or in Microsoft Power BI. Okay, now let's go ahead and change the dataset so I can show you some new charts. Okay, I'm going to delete this dataset from my processes and drag and drop wine quality white to my process window. Connect it and run it to get the stats and be able to look at charts. Here is the scatter chart. If we go with the scattered metrics and choose the quality, you can see that it shows the different relationships that may exist between factors affecting wine quality. Just quickly looking through these scattered metrics, you can see that there might be a relationship between density and residual sugar. The higher the density, the higher the residual sugar. Is there any other relationship that you may just eyeball from this one? Density and alcohol. The higher the alcohol, the lower the density. Now let me explain the concept of jitter in the RapidMiner. For this example, I'm using pH for the x-axis and the wine quality as the y-axis. Again, here for the color, I have a third dimension, volatile acidity. I don't want it, I'll go just leave them all the same color. Here, as you can see that we may have more than 1 point on wine quality of 3 and the pH around 3 or the pH around 330. So the jitter will introduce some random noise to your data. It helps you to understand that there are more points lying on top of each other. It'll give you better understanding of your data. So on cases like this, you can go and introduce a little bit of jitter and you can see that how many data points you actually have. While with no jitter, these all look like one data point. So while these are not only one data point, these are numerous data points on top of each other. And you can see that using jitter. Another useful type of chart in RapidMiner is parallel and deviation. Both parallel and deviation are really good in helping you identify deviation in your data. Here for the color, I'm going to use quality. So for example, what you understand in this chart is that the sulfur dioxide has a great range. It ranges a lot within your dataset, and different quality wines have different amount of sulfur dioxide. So lower quality wines have more sulfur dioxide. Higher quality wines you can see in the middle, and again, when you go toward lower sulfur dioxide, we'll get to lower quality wines. Another graph or a plot to show this is called deviation. It also tells you about the deviation within your variable. That it tells you, for example, this graph tells you that the wine quality varies a lot based on the residual sugar and based on the sulfur dioxide, also based on the free sulfur. So in general, these charts are really good at identifying what factors are affecting your results the most. However, please remember that these charts have a huge downside. Let's say that your variable range is small. Let's say that fixed acidity still has a lot of impact on your wine quality, but you don't see that much deviation here. This might be because the range for fixed acidity is not a huge range as it is for the sulfur dioxide. Maybe very small changes in this fixed acidity makes bigger changes in the wine quality, but you cannot say that from this diagram. This diagram is really good for identifying those factors that affect your target variable only if those factors have a bigger range. So as I said, RapidMiner provides assortment of charts. Many of them are not very famous or are not very useful in understanding your data. You can go ahead and learn about them on your own. But at the end again, I do not recommend RapidMiner for charting, especially including those charts in your reports. It's just good elementary tool for you to gain a better understanding of your data, but not for you to report your findings. Thank you for listening and hope you all learned something. You can bring up any questions that you may have during the class.